I'm about to tell you something you're going to disagree with. Not because I'm wrong, because your own brain is lying to you right now, and it doesn't even know it. Quick test. Picture the Monopoly man. Top hat, mustache, cane. Does he have a monocle? Most people say yes without even thinking about it. He's never worn one. Not once. Not in 90 years. Here's another one. Luke, I am your father. You've heard that line 100 times. Darth Vader never says it. That's not the actual quote. If you're sitting there right now doubting me, refusing to believe it, that reaction isn't an accident. That's the whole video. Because what you just experienced has a name. Scientists call it a false memory. And it's not rare. It's not a glitch that happens to other people. It's happening in your head right now about things you'd bet your life on. Stay till the end, because I'm going to show you exactly why your brain does this. And by the time this is over, you're not going to trust your own memory the same way again. Let's keep going, because it gets worse. Picture the Fruit of the Loom logo. Grapes, apples, maybe a leaf or two, and behind all that fruit, sitting in the background, a wicker cornucopia, a horn of plenty. You can see it clearly in your head right now, can't you? It's never existed, not in any version of that logo, in over 100 years of the company printing it. Researchers actually dug through newspaper ads going back to the early 1900s looking for it. Nothing. One more. The Berenstain Bears. Say it in your head. Go ahead. If you spelled that Berenstain, you just did exactly what millions of other people do. It was always Berenstain. A-I-N. It was never spelled any other way. Same thing with Pikachu. Picture him, that signature tail. A lot of people picture a small black tip right at the very end of it. There isn't one. There has never been one. His tail is solid yellow, start to finish, in every official version that's ever existed. Or think about C-3PO from Star Wars. Gleaming gold, head to toe. That's how most people remember him. One of his legs has always been silver, not gold. It's visible in nearly every single shot of him across the entire franchise, and somehow, most people never noticed, and even fewer people remember it correctly. And here's the part that should genuinely unsettle you. This isn't you being careless. This isn't you not paying attention. Researchers actually studied this. They showed people multiple versions of the same logo, the same character, the same quote, one correct version, and a couple of altered ones. And the wrong answers weren't random. Huge groups of completely unconnected people who had never spoken to each other consistently picked the exact same incorrect version. Not just any wrong answer, the same one, over and over. That's not a coincidence. That's a pattern. Scientists have a name for this shared experience. They call it the Mandela effect, after a very specific case where large numbers of people confidently remembered a public figure dying decades before he actually did. For years, people online treated this like some kind of glitch in reality, alternate timelines, parallel universes. The real explanation is a lot less exciting, and honestly, a lot more disturbing. Your memory doesn't work like a video recording. It was never designed to. Every single time you recall something, your brain isn't pulling up an exact file. It's rebuilding the memory from scratch, using fragments, and filling in the gaps with whatever seems most likely to be true. So think about the Fruit of the Loom logo again. Your brain has seen 1,000 images of fruit sitting in baskets, in bowls, in cornucopia, especially around the holidays. When it reconstructs that logo, it doesn't retrieve a photograph. It retrieves a pattern, and that pattern quietly slips a cornucopia in, because that's what fruit usually looks like, statistically, in your memory. You never saw it. Your brain built it anyway, and handed it to you with full confidence. The exact same thing happens with C-3PO. You've seen thousands of gold objects in your life, and almost zero robots with one mismatched leg. Your brain smooths that inconsistency away automatically, because a fully gold robot simply fits the pattern better than the real, slightly odd version actually does. Your memory isn't lying to you out of nowhere. It's taking a shortcut, and most of the time, that shortcut works fine. You just never notice the moments it quietly gets something wrong. That's the part almost nobody understands about memory. Confidence and accuracy are not the same thing. You can be 100% certain, completely convinced, and still be flat out wrong, because your brain doesn't flag reconstructed details any differently than real ones. It all just feels equally true. So somewhere out there right now, someone just paused this video to argue with their screen, completely certain the Monopoly man has a monocle. They're not lying, They're not being dramatic. Their brain genuinely built that detail, stored it as fact, and has been playing it back with total confidence for years. And the unsettling part isn't the Monopoly Man, or the cornucopia, or the bears. It's that this same exact process is running constantly, quietly, in every memory you've ever formed. Your childhood, last week, even something that happened this morning. You just have no way of knowing which parts are real and which parts your brain simply decided were true. Somewhere in your own memory, right now, sits a version of your past that never actually happened exactly the way you remember it. Not because you're forgetful, not because you're lying to yourself, because that's simply what a human memory is. A reconstruction, rebuilt fresh every single time, dressed up to feel exactly like the original. And it will keep feeling that certain every single time, whether it's true or not.